Alright, we're continuing work on blue today, I think. Put the water to boil and switch wasn't on. If you don't understand what I mean, outlets in Australia, you can turn them off with a switch, like a light switch. And I usually do that if I'm not going to use it. And it was off, and I put the water to boil and didn't notice. It wasn't on. Very smart of me. Alright. You can turn them off. Yeah, it's a safety feature that is required by law here. Every single wall outlet has a switch. So when you plug something in, you just turn the power off to it, and it's safe. You don't risk electrocuting yourself by plugging something into a live socket. I don't know. I thought that's how it was everywhere until I learned it wasn't. I described what I was going through with my wall outlet, and people were like, what are you talking about? And that's when it became very apparent. You can just plug it in and know it works. Okay, but I can turn it off to save power and keep it plugged in. If you want to, like, let's say you have a power board that has 5 things. And just flick the switch off and all of them will be done. You have those on your extension cords, but not the outlet. I've never seen one on an extension cord, but I guess it doesn't make sense to have one if our outlets have them. But yeah, it's useful. Like, you could always keep them on and you never have to do it. I just flick them off to kind of save power. For stuff that I only use once every now and then, and it not needing to be on permanently, I turn them off. But see, stuff like this computer, for example, that's permanently on. It's great if you go out of town for a few days instead of unplugging everything. Exactly. It's both safe and also just convenient when you do need to unplug things. And you can just flick a switch to turn it off. Alright, so yesterday I realized that with these special areas that I've marked, there is one more. And I'm gonna mark it today. But yeah, I figured with everything I have left, there's 14 or so things that I have left to do. Which if you do 1 per VOD, that's 14 VODs left, which roughly lines it up to the end of August. Give or take. Almost at the end of this. Dig up any fossil spots. Alright, there's no dirt back here. I mean, I was considering working on this today. This area here, her house. So then that's all the houses done. Well, at least the outside part. But there's something else I want to try. Alright, there's one more fossil. I still think this island is better overall compared to what I did last time. Should be one more. Ah, there we go. No, that wasn't it. I did try to put that pattern everywhere. I didn't want fossils to appear. Probably walk past it. Where is it? If you see it, shout. There we go. Got it. Thank you. Thank you for shouting. There's another idea I have for like a fancy pants building, but I'm not sure if it's going to necessarily work out. So I might try lay it out, and if it looks like it's just not going to work, I'm going to abandon ship and go work on the thing up back. It's just when I was doing this one here, which I'm still very proud of. Like, I kind of got another idea. Alright, first I gotta go check the artwork out and then give it a go. There's only 3 pieces of art left, but at the rate it's been going, I'm very doubtful that I'm gonna get to finish the museum before this is over. I may have to get people to give me the remainder. What's remaining on both islands? Both islands have 3 pieces missing, but it just refuses to give me them. Have I ever been able to finish the museum? No, never. This time around, though, I guess I did finish the creature ones, so the bugs, the fish, the fossils. They're all done. It's just the artwork, which is just refusing to give. I keep seeing the same dozen or so pieces. But it is so close. Alright, so let me mess around, because I have an idea. I'm not sure how well it's gonna work. I could very well abandon ship with it. That's assuming I have it. I swear I ordered one. I didn't? Or did I order it on... I may have ordered it on red and not here. Hold on. Go alphabetically. Where's... I'll do. Yeah, I didn't order it like an idiot. Okay, well. No, then I'll change my plans. Alright, I'm gonna go order it. I was gonna try and do a fancy greenhouse. That's just... I didn't order the thing. I actually had a pretty cool idea in mind, but it'll have to wait. It's okay. Before I forget, I need to change clothes. Sure. As long as it's different. I think at this point I have most things. Oh wait, it's on the P. Hang on. I was looking on the A. Maybe I do have it. Let me confirm. I think I confused it with the other gazebo. Probably, yeah, it's close to P. Nah, I don't have it. Okay. That's fine. I was gonna try and do that in this spot. I had an idea for it, but... It's alright, it'll have to wait. Yeah, I confused it with this. This is Maya. Okay. I'm gonna get 2 just in case. Okay, I should be prepared for what I have in my head. Alright, before I start... do this first. Really? Oh my god. What is happening? Where's the... there. 1 piece of iron between 2 rocks. No, that's cool. It's not like I just spent the last 2 months gifting iron lamps every day. Or wall iron lamps. Thank you, that's better. If you get what you get, don't be upset. I don't know, I think if I guaranteed at least 2 of each type per rock, maybe 1, I would be okay with that. Like, why can't I do 2 stone, 2 clay, 2 iron, and then 1... But one of those potentially being something different. Gold would be nice. I don't even care about the gold. I have no use for it. Because of the theme I'm doing, like, I'm not gonna make something out of gold. Ordinarily, I would do the golden toilet. But I have no use for gold here. You need it for gold tools. You do, but I just don't make gold tools because I don't like that they break. It feels like a waste of gold. And I know the irony of that is like I don't use the gold for anything else anyway, so I may as well make the gold tools. But there's just something about it that just makes me sad when a gold tool breaks. I don't want that. I don't know. I think they just need to make the gold tools unbreakable. You have to work hard to get them in the first place anyway. It's not like they're free. You know? Alright, I guess we're working here today. So, thematically this is gonna be mountain cottage thingy. I'll try and put... It's gonna be pretty straightforward, I think, but anyway. I might even do the house as well, I don't know. We'll see. Alright, let me get the trees out of the way and then... It'll work. Yeah, I'll look for now. This house doesn't have as much room as I'd like, but... Alright. Let's just start with a clean slate and then I'll work from there. I think the path can stay as is. It's not like that's going to get any smaller. Alright. So. There's a couple of ideas I had that I'm gonna do. Otherwise it's a waste of a pattern. So I'll start with those two ideas first. Where are they? That. Thinking would be better suited. Do I have one of these made? Hold on. Sorry, just trying to jump up quickly. This will also make it easier to just get stuff out. Doesn't look like I have one made. Okay, that's fine. So the thing I'm debating is like what to put down the side here. I think I'm leaning more towards hedges. I think given the amount of space I have left, it's probably better to just make this one. Got an hole looking one. And I guess to be able to place this, I need to temporarily it's not gonna let me, is it? I'm gonna hate it. Okay, no, it might. No, it's cool. It's allowed. It's allowed. It's fine. I thought it wasn't gonna let me put it to the edge there. Just okay. We're cool. We're cool. Okay. So, opinion not needed. I either do this, or I do this. I think I'm leaning more towards the wood, because the cabin. Like this. And I can plant like a single hedge there, just so it's not all that. I know I said opinion needed, but just talk my way into convincing myself that, yeah, that's what I want. Sometimes you just need to see it and just say it out loud. Alright. Right, so... is this allowed? Probably not, right? Yeah, it's too close here. Okay, I was gonna go for something. I mean, maybe this is fine. Hold on. Yeah, against here. And now I got this. Like that. I just want to set up like a crafting area. Suck. We'll get there. I think this is fine, given the design of everything surrounding it. What the fuck? Okay. In what universe do I want that? Alright, we're cool. Okay, bear with. Yeah. Hang on. Maybe like this, because I think it doesn't make sense. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Okay, now for general things, I think that. I don't think I mean, hang on. I might change my mind about it. Not removing it more. Maybe it does need something here on the ground. Feels a bit off. I think the rest of it is right. It's just need to. Probably this. Yeah. Okay, hook this back up. Okay. That looks better. Oh, there it is. Looks like I don't have that. Okay. I mean, villagers are gonna sit on it, but at the very least, I'll give the illusion I'm going for. Okay, like this. Not like that. There you go. It's a different kind of garden. Alright, now. Great. That's fine. Still got that. One of these. What? Hang on. Oh no, there they are. It just was running low. Okay. I'm okay with having flimsy for this one. I'm not sure I have any starter thingies left. Oh, I do. No, we're fine. Okay. I don't think this is going to be very elaborate. It's just going to look nice. Uh-oh. Is it for real? I think this is the island that doesn't have the scarecrow recipe. Hang on. I think I made an extra one, though. I hope I did. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to go play fetch. I don't understand how that's happened. Yeah, there we go. I made a whole bunch of them, I remember, because I was like, how? How is that a thing? Alright, but we're okay. Now, this is gonna be an easy thing. Alright, so this is an aesthetic thing. You know what, since we talked about the golden axe, how about that? This villager gets a golden axe, because why not? It's not like I'm gonna do anything else with it. Also, I don't like that the axe has a red handle, so... This is fine. I've never actually made the golden axe. Hey Tizzy, Golden Axe is a great game. Never played. I've seen it played. Oh hey Laura, how are things? They're going okay. Just working on the island for a little bit. Right, go like that. There we go. That's a nice little garden. I wish I could shove it in here. Like, make it stick out of the stump. It's okay. Yeah, see, I don't make the golden stuff. Alright, so... let me do this as well. Okay. Alright, so what I'm gonna do. Farewell. I just want to figure out how this is gonna go. I don't know if I want that. That's what I was looking for. Why? Why would you do that? Still working on it. Oh, I guess if I want a normal gut, yeah, how's that gonna work? Maybe I just need to settle for one of these type paths instead. It's a bit too clean. Like this. That's a bit better. It's just I want to have the dark soil for the crops that I'm going to plant here, so... Really? Okay. Okay. Alright, if you insist. I know, I get this every night, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so just go with this. This. I don't want a massive garden, just... Yeah. Okay. can ignore it for now. Yeah. Okay. Watch it stop. That was what, like 4? Yeah, no, that's about right. Just stop the moment I look up. Mm-hmm. So anyway, off stream, the next game I was working on getting 100% on was Mega Bonk because some of the achievements in that were difficult. It's been fun just achievement chasing, just kicking back. Now that I've finally got to 99 in Diablo 2, I'm definitely convinced I will never do that shit ever again. It's just... I'm sure there's more efficient ways of doing it, but man, that took too long. I just need to get that stupid PvP one, the ear one. No, the next thing I want out of that game is the Chronicle thing, which I'll slowly do over time. Oh, yeah, I wanted to do... Okay, hold on. I wanted to do... Yep. Okay. No, this is fine. This is gonna work. Chronicle you can do on your own time. Yeah. No, that's true. Ah, you just had to be that annoying, didn't you? I guess I can swap to the dark path, it's fine. You still play Diablo 2 because you're freezed to hit 99. I mean, it's that level 99 is really only feasible if you have someone... Well, sorry, like 8 people with you constantly. 7 people, so it's an 8-person thing. That's just... It's too much. If it wasn't for offline player, I wouldn't have never done it. But for the Chronicle thing, I have a sorceress that has a bunch of magic find, and I made it carry over the Sunder Charm from base game, so that's all set up. Okay, what I might do... Just move this down one like this. And put another scarecrow here, and that'll work. Usually play with a friend as in one. I'm usually playing on my own, but I do play every now and then with one person. I haven't played a Diablo 2 with a second person, let's put it that way. Sorry, that's fine. I got my achievement. I'm done with that game for a while. That's what I was getting. Let me... The craziest thing is, I know there was a warlock character and everything, but I just never tried that character. I guess because it just, everyone was playing it, and it just seemed inherently broken. I was like, eh. I was kind of like, I don't know. I think that's nice. Let me just put it one more, because I need to make it so you can still... Oh, see, it's one of these. It's like an awkward shape. I still want to get around here so you can see this, but maybe it's not that important. Maybe that can remain hidden. Let me stand here. Yeah, so this is one of these annoying ones that's technically 1.5 units. Okay, so I need to remedy this. That's cool. It's easily fixed. Iterate. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with this necessarily. I think that being there is fine. I'm just gonna pull it back one so then it's still walkable. Playing Trap Assassin. Trap Assassin is fun. To get the final achievements, I finally played Druid for the first time, and I mean, Wind Druid was fun, just I think it falls off more than it should. Oh, what are you doing? Alright, and now just... You only played Sork and Classic Day 2 when you were a kid. 5 years just Sork. I mean, it was the same with Diablo 3. I stuck to pretty much Monk most of the time. You look at the amount of hours I sunk into Monk, it was a good 1,500, maybe 2,000 hours Monk. And then every other class was like 100 hours. Kind of the same with this. The Amazon is my favorite, and I've played mostly that. The character I got to 99 in hardcore was in Amazon. Alright, no, this looks nice. I think this has a bit of everything. We could probably get rid of this. Like, I think, yeah. Yeah. There we go. I think that looks nice. And then this isn't obstructed, so we have a little more room. We're not done. I hope that DLC went well for them, though. It would be nice if they do more content for that game. They did put out a survey asking what people would want to see if they were allowed to do more content. But at this point, yeah, if I'm gonna play a Diablo game, it's not gonna be any of the new ones. Just, Diablo 4 was their last chance to kind of make me go, okay, no, they're back in form, and nah. This should fit here. Though, admittedly, having a clothesline next to your bees probably not the wisest choice. Actually, that works. No, I like that. That works. Will that work on the other island, though? It should, right? It might not work on the other island. If it doesn't, I'll change it out. It's fine. Alright. Well, that spot I already knew what it was for. Hello, where is it? There it is. I'm gonna go customize it. There's a wooden one. So that should be it. Just like Skyrim and Fallout, I think certain games are hard to follow up. Yeah, I mean, Fallout for sure. I was pretty disappointed with 4. I don't know how they're gonna go with the new Elder Scrolls game. I mean, Bethesda, their last couple of new entries haven't really hit. And what was it, Starfield, that game? Yeah. That seemed interesting. I waited, and the general consensus was not bad, but nothing groundbreaking. I think these days when it comes to those games, it's pretty much a wait and see. Stuff feels boring, sadly. Yeah. I've heard boring and, like, mediocre. Asking fans to pretend they didn't tease a new Elder Scroll like 10 years ago. It has been a while. I think they gave an update just this year that it's on its way more. They'll probably show something soon, I don't know. I'm kind of worried about The Witcher as well, given the Cyberpunk debacle. Like, that's another one that sadly I'll be like, I'll wait and see how that game releases. Just, I got burned by Cyberpunk. The Witcher 3 is getting a DLC? Oh, no kidding. Huh. Well, that I'd probably check out. That should be safe. But just, yeah, Cyberpunk, man. I don't know what to say about that game. Other than it wasn't ready. I gave it a try, but I got soft locked. I had to wait for them to fix it. And then when they did fix it, I got soft locked again, and I just never went back to it. I was like, nah, I'm done. Alright. So that's what that was for. Okay, we're not quite done yet. There's still some minor details here and there. one here. Yep. Alright. Let's say that more or less does it. Okay. I'm just gonna put more of the, that pattern, which looks bad now, but when spring hits, you won't even be able to tell it's here. Not this one. This one. It'll blend in. It's just to prevent anything from growing on here. There we go. Man. And I guess with that, that's... Oh, mailbox, mailbox, mailbox. That's what's missing. I was like, what did I forget? Mailbox. Would be here. I think that's fine to be like that. I'll leave it wooden. It'll be slightly different compared to the others. I may have to reposition that on red. Otherwise, yeah, there we go. That looks pretty nice. But you see what I mean? It's kind of... but should I do that for consistency? I'll do it for consistency. I'll make it like the others. This was the last major piece of land. The rest is just... detail filling. Again, most of this has just been over the course of 2 months, pretty much. There we go. Alright, yeah, that's better. Oh yeah, I had firewood. That's fine. I don't think I need it. That was just a thought. Alright, now... This is subject to change as well. Try to be budget conscious with these patterns. It was just here. What is go? I mean, kinda covers it. Wait, what? Is it that noticeable? I don't think it is. I think it's fine. Alright. Well, that only took me an hour. I was hoping that it would take the full hour and a half I intended for this. guess I could do the house. No, you know what? I got a better idea. No, I got a better idea. I'm almost out of wood. I need wood. I will 100% run out. I think I have 15 pieces of normal wood left. I need wood. Eventually I will cut down the amount of palm trees I have. Oh. Thinking? Okay. All the villagers are gonna hate me now because I'm not talking to them anymore. Now that I have all their pictures, it's like, eh. So mean, but at this point I've heard it all, like, I don't know, it feels like the interactions in this game, they're not as interesting as the older games. And I've just noticed that more now that I've played New Leaf and City Folk. Don't gift Will a frame picture, he'll stop talking to you. Okay, but like, if we're using that logic, there's plenty of other things you shouldn't do then, based on my actions in this game. Does anyone watch It's Always Sunny? If not, it doesn't matter, I'll explain it anyway. There's an episode of that show where two of the guys move out to the suburbs. And they have a neighbor that every morning says to one of the guys, "Sure is a hot one out there." Every morning. And the entire episode is, at the start they're happy, and by the end of the episode they're at each other's throats because they're just sick of living in the suburbs. And one of the things that causes him to snap and not like it anymore is this neighbor that says the exact same thing to him every morning. And I'm just saying, that's what Animal Crossing becomes, is like, you've heard it all. And they say the same thing to you every time. It's like when a villager comes over to your house. High card, low card? High card, low card? Knock, knock. Here, I brought you a present. High card, low card? You have an interesting taste. I might have to take some decoration tips. Ha ha ha. Whoops. I don't like high card, low card. I don't like high card, low card when that's the only thing that happens when they visit. I think it just... It's very quick to notice and hear the same things again. I think they needed to come up with more dialogue for the villagers. The only dialogue that makes me laugh is just when one of the sporty villagers talks about having a dungeon and no one being able to hear someone scream. Or basement. Why did I say dungeon? Basement. I implied it was a dungeon, but it's a basement. Alright, I guess I may as well do the daily island. I'm not bothered by, shaking the trees. I'm not a bad person in real life, it's just in video games I just get sick of people's shit. Up here? Yeah, I did. I think it's just the idea that each of these villages have the red villager as a photo is funny. Don't change your clothing. This is why I don't like doing this as well, by the way. Because of that one time that I did this, and then Ken was wearing a caterpillar outfit, and it took me 2 weeks to get that off him. It ruined his aesthetic completely. I think the way I've done the houses this time around is just, I don't know. Maybe I've just become better at this, but when I looked at the island from last time, I was like, huh. Just, maybe that's just how I am, is eventually I'm just like, this is not as good as I remember it, for stuff that I've done, that is. Most effort you see me doing any island, this time I'm doing it 2 at once. Yeah, well, yeah. People are sad it's gonna end, and they were jokingly telling me to start a 3rd island, to which I am saying no. It's not a good idea for many reasons, but let's put that aside. I kept saying I don't think I could come up with a way to top this. And one day I sat there and thought of a way to top it. My next idea is going to be way more complicated than this. Just, it's not going to happen for New Horizons. It'll be whatever the new game is. Because if I do start it for this, well, the new game's going to release and it's going to be annoying. The whole content of islands. No, it's just one island or one thing, but it's an elaborate thing that I'm doing. But here's an idea you can have for free. And I'm sure someone can execute this idea. This is not the idea I'm talking about, but here's an idea I considered. Given this 2 island theme thing, I think a fun way to do the 2 island thing would be to find a friend and be like, let's do a dual island together. So in other words, you have to fish for the same 2 islands that I have that connect by that fake bridge. And then you 2 come up with a theme together that articulates it. So in other words, there's continuity between the 2 islands in the same way. Except it's done with 2 people, 2 real people, and you have to coordinate it. In the same way that I kind of had to coordinate these islands. But you do it as a cooperative experience. You could even go as far as saying that perhaps you decide each other's villages or something. I don't know. But just a narrative of 2 islands that used to be one island, and then there's like, you know, a mirroring effect to it. You could do that with a second person. And then that would be an interesting way to stream that playthrough. I wouldn't be able to follow through on such a thing, but, you know. It's an interesting idea. Is that a color thing? No. That's the thing, like, put theme outside of your mind. It's not a theme. It's just an idea. On how I could play this game for an extended amount of time and keep it interesting. And I think that idea is better suited for a new game where it's fresh and more people are into it. And then it makes it easier to commit to such a thing. Because there'll be more people that are interested in seeing it. You'll see it eventually. I'm convinced the new game will be announced within the next year. I think it kind of has to be. Just too much points towards it happening. Like, the gap between New Leaf and New Horizon was 7 years. This game released in 2020. I'm just saying. Next year lines up to about the same amount of time that it took to get to New Horizons. And, you know, there's the fact that this was the second highest selling game on the Switch 1. I doubt they would want to leave that much money on the table. But who knows? Nintendo's weird. COVID did it a lot of favors, though. Did it, though? So, I thought about that too. But think about this for a sec. Let me ask you this. Let's say Animal Crossing wasn't developed by Nintendo and was developed by, I don't know, Sony. Or like any other big gaming company. If your game got famous overnight and exploded in popularity, would you not like just double the amount of people working on it and just start pushing out content like there's no tomorrow? I mean, COVID did it a favor, but at the same time, they didn't really capitalize on it at all. Like, I think they just still released the same amount of content they were going to anyway. All I'm saying is, like, it probably won't sell as much as it did for COVID, but I think more people are aware of Animal Crossing now that there were before that. Though it won't reach COVID high, it'll still be more than what New Leaf sold. And for them to, like, let more time pass and have more people forget about Animal Crossing, I don't know. That'd be a weird thing for them to do. And they probably would do that. I just find it weird that, given how viral this game went, they ultimately didn't really do a whole lot with that. Oh, whatever. That didn't count as a corner. Absolutely, I'm right. You'd never heard of Animal Crossing before New Horizons, but was never interested until I got it and played it. I mean, yeah, like, I only expressed interest in Animal Crossing because of the pandemic, pretty much. I hadn't played any of the other games. I'd always heard about it. And it was pretty much the, okay, the world is going to shit. It kind of sucks right now. It's stressing me out. Yes, a game like this sounds exactly what I need right now. I don't know, like, it's just weird when you look at it. I think any other company would have just really pushed it. And then, yeah, all of us, that's the other thing. All of a sudden they were like, nah, no more updates. They're like, we're done, guys. And it wasn't even that far in. They just decided to go, nah, we're done. Like Terraria. Man, I wish that was made by the people that made Terraria. If it was that, this game would still be going. They made their money, but it's not just about making money. It's also, there's other things to take into account. There's like, yeah, they made their money, but companies also like it when you report how many players are currently playing your stuff. It looks good to investors to say that, like, millions upon millions of people are actively playing our games. So, again, it's weird. Terraria is still not done. Like, they're making another update, which most likely will get out of hand and will be a larger update than they let on. But, I mean, unless it's something extremely major, I don't think I'll go back to that game. Like, fundamentally, it's still the same thing. I know there's stuff and there's a whole new set of items and furniture and all that happen. But it's just, ultimately, it's the same points, you know? You kind of have the early game, then you work up to the wall of flesh, you struggle when you enter hard mode, and then you work your way through a set path. And that path has been mostly the same between these major updates. Unless they introduce a new class or something, I don't know. It's just... What am I missing? Oh, branches. Not anymore now, it's just money, which is why half the games come out free and just have a cosmetic store. I mean, Nintendo doesn't particularly operate that way, in their defense, though. I mean, they do on mobile. They have mobile games, but their console stuff hasn't really done that sort of thing. I think the closest they've gotten to that is just selling DLC. Like, now they're announcing DLC for games that haven't released yet. How much normal wood did I get? Alright, I think that's a decent amount. I just want enough to get through the rest of this, that's all. I don't know, my mentality with getting games now has kind of changed. And it's been pretty much... Unless it's something that I really, really want and it's beloved, odds are I probably won't get it right away. I think now I've kind of realized that just with the state of things across multitude of levels in terms of how much things cost, not just games. I have enough where I could keep playing stuff from my backlog and stuff that I like. Probably for the rest of my life, to be honest. And I think the way I'm gonna approach it is exactly that, is like, just play older stuff. And I think the thing that kind of pushed me more towards that is definitely the PlayStation thing, where now it's just like, okay, so if physical copies are really gonna end, and I have to go digital, I'm going Steam, man. I don't care about their exclusives. Thought of me when you heard Sony was going to stop producing physical copies of games, because you remember I told you that's cheaper than getting it online. It's not just for me as well. Like, they were doing a deep dive of it, and on average, even in the United States, games go on sale more on Amazon than they do on PlayStation Store. And so you're able to pick up games cheaper on average from Amazon physically. It's not that they become cheaper, it's just the odds of a sale are more likely to happen with physical copies than they are Sony's own store. And there's a lot of cases where you do get really good deals that, like, Sony's store just never does. So, it's just even more the case in Australia. In Australia, like, you'd be a fool to get a digital copy on release. Like, you just would be. With Australia in particular, it's like when a game releases, the physical copy is always cheaper. That's the problem we have currently. And yeah, I guess if I'm gonna go digital on something, it's gonna be Steam. Now that I have a Steam Deck and a Steam machine, that's even more the case. It's just... Nah, man. Like, it's basically Sony first-party stuff, which I'm not that tied to. And Nintendo, kind of the same deal, is like... Unless it's a Zelda, a Mario game, Animal Crossing, or something beloved that I would love to play, like a new Wario game. I'm gonna take it as a case-by-case thing, because some of their games are starting to be like $110 here. And I thought about it. I was like, I could spend $110 on one of their games or spend $110 in a Steam sale. $110 on a Steam sale would get me an entire franchise of a game. And I have enough to play already. Like, I do. I have a backlog of stuff. There's franchises that I've never played that people have been asking me to play for years. Like, I look at the Yakuza series, for example. Excluding the new games, there were 7 of those games that I played pretty much back to back. And that gave me entertainment for like 2 to 3 years. And that cost me virtually nothing. Like, not even the price of a full game. And there's other stuff like that. I've played Resident Evil 4 and now I played Requiem. I kind of want to check out more of the other ones in the series. There's other stuff like Metal Gear. There's Devil May Cry. There's just a whole bunch of other stuff that I haven't played. Did I ever play Bayonetta? No, see, that's another one. I've heard that's fun. There's plenty. And then there's new indie games that are coming out, right? Like Silk Song. That cost me, what, like $25? And Fields of Mystria. That game does not cost that much money. So I think that's what's going to happen with me is like... Nintendo this year... the next time they get my money will probably be for the new Zelda game. So they're not getting any of my money for the next 6 months. Whatever it might be. Okay, I'll get more money. And yeah, me just... I've enjoyed going back and playing games I love and trying to 100% them. I think more and more people are going to realize that. And then there's a whole world of retro games, which, yeah. You know, one of the things I always wanted to do when this was something I was thinking in the lead up to me wanting to stream. I kind of always had a vision of like playing, not all of the NES games, but all of the major ones. Including the ones that were balls hard, like Battletoads. And see, that's something that would easily give like a year's worth of content. So, I don't know. I think the more this year's progressed, the more I've been sold on just not really buying major new games as much anymore. I think the thing that pushed me to be like, yeah, nah, this is what I'm doing was just the whole Sony thing. Oh, hold on. I'm not saying I'm going to sell my PS5, but I'm definitely not buying a PS6. That's the gist of it. Okay, that's fine. That's softwood. That's fine. Just look at this. I have over 1,000 pieces of the other woods. Oh, I needed to. I think they just needed more recipes to involve the other wood. No, I'm not doing hotel. Stop it. Be done with hotel. The worst thing about it is, like, this villager is going to be like, hey, could you show me to the hotel, please? Oh, you mean the building right in front of you? The thing that you're looking at, right? Well, maybe if you stop looking at your feet, you might see you're directly in front of the place you want to be at. Alright, let me do this quick. I was also seeing something interesting as well, and this doesn't apply to me, but I was saying that the majority of ways that the next generation is experiencing games is through Roblox, more than anything else. Which will be an interesting problem for them, the companies, game companies. Because they're going to have a whole generation of people coming up that don't really engage with their games. It was an interesting thing. It was like a topic on the latest viral game, which is that Mecha Chameleon game. Just how the player base has shrunk. But just seeing how that a bunch of Roblox clones popped up and that their active player counts are much higher than the original game now. That's not to say people aren't playing the game. There's plenty of people playing it, but it's more that there are so many more people playing it through Roblox. And apparently that happens a lot, is that a game will be popular and then someone will copy the idea and put it in Roblox and it will be more successful than the original. Can I please get normal wood? Like, really? 13 pieces of hardwood? Oh. It's the same when someone made like a Squid Game game and it was super popular. Then Roblox did it too and the other game went from thousands of players to 10. Yeah. Exactly. I talked about this before, but there's another example of this sort of thing happening. Except, something was done. Oh, I didn't bring a shovel. It's okay. I can make one. So, Apple recently released a very cheap laptop, which is, like, unheard of for them. A laptop is just like, man, this thing is such a no-brainer. Like, why would you get anything else if you're looking for an entry-level laptop? It's not a powerful laptop, but it's just something that you're a student for education, whatever, you just need it. It's ridiculously cheap for what it is. And here's what was happening, pretty much. When it came to laptops in schools, apparently Chromebooks were being used because Apple stuff was way too expensive. And so they kind of realized that, oh, We're going to have a whole generation of children being raised on Google stuff. Because our stuff is too expensive. And so they released something where it's like, it's such a no-brainer to get that thing. I mean, a Chromebook is still cheaper, but now a Chromebook is pretty restrictive and the price difference is not as steep as it used to be. And so they've made a huge comeback when it comes to, like, a new generation of people becoming Mac users. And I think that's what's going to happen to Nintendo. Is that I only speak from personal experience, but I asked my brother about this, and my niece and her friends don't really ask for Nintendo stuff. Most of her friends are playing Roblox or Minecraft. Why? Because kids can actually kind of get into that. You know, they're not asking $60 for an amiibo or $110 for a game. And so I think the same thing is going to happen to Nintendo ultimately if they don't change course. Is like a whole new generation of kids aren't really going to be nostalgic for this stuff. And they're just going to be selling to people that are getting older. Which is kind of what's happening right now. Like, the stuff they're producing is pretty nostalgia fodder. And I think that's why they're doing a lot of movies. They're trying to get kids to like their characters through movies. So then maybe they'll make them buy games. Yeah. Just a thing that I think is gonna start happening is, like, if stuff remains as expensive as what it is, I don't know, man. Like, kids go elsewhere. They needed to do this. The last time you had a Mac was over 20 years ago. With the almost see-through blue and white laptop. After that, Apple just went into a whole luxury aesthetic and prices. Yeah, exactly. And whilst that was good for them in the short term, in the long term, it created this situation where just people were outpriced. And so it's kind of funny because I've played a lot of the Yakuza games, and this is one of the points that gets made in the Yakuza games. When you're running the dance clubs, the character keeps saying, you don't want a scenario where, like, the only customers you have is an aging customer base. You need to appeal to young blood. You need to make things cheaper. Because otherwise, those old people will die off and then you have no customers anymore. And I think about that a lot because that's what's happening to them. That's what was going to happen to Apple before they released this cheap laptop. And I'm sure, like, Nintendo will probably realize this. They probably have realized this. But I think just, yeah, seeing the habits my niece has, which is, it's really my brother kind of going, hey, here's a Nintendo game. But her and her friends, they don't really, like, actively go for them. Kids are playing Roblox and stuff. So, I don't know. They aren't asking for the games, exactly. I just think it's gotten out of hand. Like, the Kirby amiibos being as pricey as they were was just insane. Your daughter only has the Yoshi game because you bought it and you wanted to play it too. Yeah. See, imagine that game was like $40. $40 is still expensive for a kid, but it's more within reach than 60 or 80. If you had kids, though, they would not touch Roblox because it's a grooming platform. Yeah, I mean, the dating thing on Roblox is kind of wild. I mean, it's kind of hard because on the one hand, it's true. There's content that's junk food content that's bad. I think it in moderation is fine. And supervised, like taking an interest in what they're doing. The problem is it's because it's like a social network almost. It's a network effect. It's like, it sucks for your kid to be the only one that isn't engaging if that's how kids are interacting with one another. But you definitely wouldn't want to make it a thing where that's the only thing they do. I think the main thing is to take an interest in what they're doing, watch what they're doing, and, you know. Just don't let that be a thing where they're doing only that. Did they go ahead with the dating thing? I don't know. I just remember reading about it and was like, what is this? What do you mean dating on Roblox? What? It's just... Yeah, no, I'm good. And personally, I have a stance where it's like, if a game, the majority of people that are playing it are under the age of 18, I won't touch that game. It's like, nah, I'm good. The kids do, the things kids do is so stupid and boring, and he needs to keep inviting you different channels on WhatsApp and other things, and it's just spam and brain rot. I mean, I think every generation has that. I think about the stuff I used to look at, like, let's look at the things that probably would have scared my uncle and aunts. Happy Tree Friends. Original South Park, not modern day South Park. We're talking original, where it's like, Cartman had a fucking satellite dish come out of his asshole. Newgrounds, the stupid Flash animations. MSN Messenger with the nudging and stupid stuff that would pop up on screen and make sound effects. I mean, Pokemon, like, you might laugh, but I had relatives that just could not understand how I would like that as a kid. And some people thought Pokemon was satanic. Like, I don't know. I can understand it's on a whole other level right now because of just the internet. Jesus Christ, cat. Well, I guess, alright, I'm not gonna read that out loud because Animal Crossing stream. But yes, you saw some fucked up shit as a kid on the internet before your first kiss. Okay. But that goes to show, just take an interest in what your kid's doing on the internet. That's all. I think that stuff is universal as like, whatever the current generation is doing, the previous generation is just gonna find it weird and cringe and just annoying. But, you know, I'll proudly stand by the fact that no matter how weird and stupid the things I would have looked at or did was, at the end of the day, I didn't eat soap. And you know what? That's fine. I didn't laugh at some guy's head coming out of a toilet and inventing words that are just basically noises. At least when we invented words, they were play off real words. So I don't know. I'm an old man, I don't care. But I understand that, like, yeah, I probably did stuff that my uncles were probably like, what the hell is wrong with him? Alright, on that though, let's wrap this up. If you're watching this later on the VOD's channel, thanks for sticking around to the end. Leave a like if you feel like it, or interact with the video. It does help a lot. We'll continue this next time.